I want to eliminate my light switches at home. Well, maybe not as drastically as I just put it, but at least it's something to consider, and it could be implemented in some rooms using a presence detector. These are, compared to classic motion sensors that actually perceive movement, sensors that determine whether someone is present in the room by using waves, and they can also detect if someone is in the room even if they are sitting still in the corner and not moving. In the meantime, there are several of these devices on the market. I believe the FP has become quite popular. I think it's a pretty cool device. The only downside is definitely the price and the feature set, where I feel that while it is absolutely cool for some specific use cases, the high price makes it not easily affordable or usable for everyone at home. And that's why I want to show you an alternative to that today after the intro. Enjoy! In this video, we will take a look at the Sonoff human presence sensor. Compared to its bigger brother, it has significant functionality instead of Wi-Fi on board. And it also has a slightly smaller feature set, as this motion sensor can unfortunately only detect simple motion. So, it can only tell if someone is present in the room or not. This is basically the only functionality it offers. In my opinion, however, it is exactly what is needed to be installed in every household, or at least in the majority of rooms, to replace the light switch. So I imagine it like this. You install everything in, for example, a living room, a bathroom, or for example, as in an office here, it simply runs automatically, and when motion is detected, the light turns on, and when you leave the room, the light turns off. The larger brother, the FP, also offers the possibility to create individual zones. One could now, for example, create multiple zones in the office, a workspace, and a movie area. When I am here, the light only turns on here. When I am over there, the light only turns on over there. This may sound quite cool at first glance, but it is probably relatively irrelevant for most people, because on one hand, it is indeed strange to be in a room where the other half is completely dark. On the other hand, one could also implement the whole thing smartly with two of these sensors by simply installing two instead of one for each area, and then it could be implemented just the same. However, since the price-performance ratio is so different, it really isn't worth buying one of the more expensive sensors. You can simply implement the whole thing with two of them and still end up being cheaper. The only disadvantage of these presence detectors, in my opinion, is that they consume relatively a lot of power for a smart home device, which wouldn't really show up on the electricity bill, but it means that you have to have a continuous power supply connected and cannot use a purely battery-operated presence detector. While I do find electrically powered devices cooler because the battery can't just run out, it also means that you have to consider where to install the device. You can't just place it in a corner, you need to check if there is a power outlet available so that I can supply it with electricity. I came across this device because I have two motion detectors installed in my hallway, and it often happens that you get caught up in conversation and end up standing there, and then suddenly the light goes out, leaving you in the dark. This always leads to the typical gesture of waving your arms to alert the motion detector that you are still present. This is exactly what I hope to eliminate with this sensor. So, a quick update. I have had the whole thing installed up here for about a week now, and it works. The light is currently on and stays on as long as I am here. However, the range of the device is not as far as expected. So, for this room, it is not quite sufficient. You would probably need to use two of them for it to work properly. At least for this position here, because this is now basically at one end of the room and I work at the other end, the light does go on in between. With a more central position, it might be possible to fix that, or if in doubt, simply use a second sensor. Then it will definitely work as long as I'm in this room, then everything functions perfectly. Yes, I just wanted to quickly mention that, and now I would say, let's continue with the video. The integration into typical smart home systems, such as Home Assistant via Zigbee to MQTT or ZHA, is super easy. Just plug the device into the power, hold down the pairing button here, and it will automatically appear in my interface, showing me directly in Home Assistant whether motion has been detected or not. After that, I can create my automation as usual, meaning that when motion is detected, certain actions will be executed, or when no motion is detected anymore, different actions will be carried out. Feel free to take a look at the whole thing. I will include the link in the description below, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it may have even helped you. If so, I would of course be very happy about a review, and then I would say see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. You send.